Carrie Ann Knauer, and welcome to Carrie's Kitchen. I usually try to cook with the seasons, but we're looking at another summer coming up, and I still have some frozen cherries left over from last year. So I thought, let's try to find a new way that I can use those. So I decided to make a pork chop with a homemade cherry sauce. And it's not going to be a sweet sauce. We've got balsamic vinegar in there that's going to give it some nice acidity, as well as some marmalade that gives it a little bit of tartness. So all the flavors really work together, and it really complements the pork as well. Are you ready to cook? Okay, our first step is that we're going to start preparing the cherry sauce. And that means we're going to cut up our onions, store them separately, and then mix all the other ingredients together. I just have a bunch of green onions here. Cut the tips off. We're going to set these aside. Alright, next we're going to chop our cherries. This might get a little messy. I'm going to put these back in the bowl. Mix in the rest of the ingredients. Alright, we're going to add a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. It's not something you have to be super exact with, so I'm just using a spoon. And we want to use 1/8 of a spoon of crushed red pepper flakes. It's going to give it some heat. And then we're going to use 1/4 cup of marmalade. And this is a special kind called Sarah Beth's. It's originally from this great bakery in New York, but you can find it at a place like Marshall's. It's amazing. It's the best marmalade I've ever had. This is going to give it a nice little tangy flavor. And then 1/4 cup of broth. So the sauce is ready. But we're going to prepare the pork chops at this time as well. I'm just going to salt each side. And a little fresh pepper. Flip it and do the other side. Now we're ready to head to the stove. Alright, we're going to add the olive oil to each of our pots. About a tablespoon in the one where we're going to make the cherry sauce. And about 2 tablespoons in the ones where we're going to do the pork chops. We're going to add our pre-cut onions. Once they get a little pre-cooked, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. We're going to try to bring that to a light boil so we can reduce some of that cherry juice. Now, once I think this is hot, which it looks like it is, I'm going to get it up to medium-high heat. We're going to add our pork chops. Good. I normally cook them for 2 to 3 minutes per side, but these are kind of thick, so it's going to take a little bit longer. Cherry's starting to boil, which is good. I'm going to move them around a little. Looks like it's starting to thicken up a little. Alright, because pork is kind of tricky, we want to make sure that we have it at the right internal temperature, which means that I'm going to be using my meat thermometer. So I'm going to pull it out, put it on the plate, and test the temperature. What we're shooting for is 160 degrees. Great, and we've hit it. And we could just keep letting this cherry sauce go. I've turned it down to low. And that way, if you still have other vegetables that you're preparing, you can just let the cherry sauce keep cooking a little bit longer. Great, so our pork chop is cooked, our sauce has been thickened, and it's ready to serve. Just want to put the pork chop on the plate. I want to spoon some of the sauce over it. Look how nice and thick that got. And yet it's still going to have all of that flavor from the balsamic vinegar. And a little bit of marmalade that we put in there as well. I think it would go great with a spinach salad, maybe some baby zucchini. And there we have it, pork chops with a homemade cherry sauce.